Welcome to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. Go for good times, go for GoMart. With me now, head indoor track and field coach Dan Meyers. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Jagger, thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, this past weekend you had a few guys over at Youngstown State, but the rest of the team was at Muskie meet number 3. It was another good weekend for you guys. Jordan Taylor set a school record. Hannah Rowan moved into the all-time list. There's a lot of improvements on some athletes' all-time marks, new personal best, all that stuff. You had some wins as well. Just your thoughts on the weekend.
Yeah, starting with Youngstown, Mikey and Aaron, took on the heptathlon for the first time at Youngstown State over 2 days, 4 events on Friday and 3 events on Saturday. Aaron started out really, really well. Out of the 18 competitors, had the fastest time in the 60. Had near a personal best in the long jump. So started out really, really good. He's been battling some shin issues. So day 2 started to weigh on him a little bit. Didn't have the time in the 60 hurdles, which is his primary event that he could have. When all was said and done, though, he's ranked currently 6th in the conference right now, about 100 points, which is truthfully nothing. Some easy tune-ups, right out of 3rd place, so all conference level right there. So he's going to have a busy 2 days here in 3 weeks, but really, really good start for him. And then on to the Muskegon meet, a little smaller than the last time we were in Muskegon's building, but felt like it was a good meet for us. Our throwers got a lot of throws because a lot of them made finals, so a lot of them got 6 throws. And then, a crap ton of, personal best. And then honestly, like the 200 meter track at Muskegon is very nice, but the 200 meter track sometimes for pretty much anything 400 and up, it provides some difficulty. Mm-hmm. So I was very, very pleased with, Nick Pitchford in the 3K, Pat Riley, Caden Davis, and all their times will get a 200-meter track to 300-meter track conversion. It's about 6 seconds. So all of them with the conversion had big personal best. And Jenna Barnett had a huge race as well, ran very, very strong. Natalie with a really quick double. That mile 8 was about 50 minutes apart. So for her to get 2 victories there and right off her personal best in the mile, there was a lot of good things throughout the day. Honestly, the end of the day was Jordan Taylor in that women's pole vault. She's now the GOAT, if you will, because indoor, outdoor, no one's ever posted a mark like that in our women's vaulting history, moved her into basically a tie for 2nd place. And even bigger than that, she had some attempts at 3.40 meters, which is where the top girl in our conference ranks right now. So she's hitting some different heights now, and her progression will look different moving forward. But that was huge for her. She's a freshman dual sport athlete here, and she's just a great human being, and I couldn't be happier for her. She works really hard, and that's without us really having someone working with the vault, and she kind of puts her head down, and she's got a great support system with her vault group, and they do a phenomenal job. So yeah, very pleased with her performance this weekend.
And now you're about 2 weeks away from your next meet, the Marshall Invitational, 3 weeks away from the conference championship. So what's this next week look like as you prepare for your next meet and for the conference championship?
Yeah, so going to be some great weather today. It's going to start to subside towards the end of the week, but nevertheless, with the snow gone, we were back on the track, and this week's going to be huge. And I told my sprint and hurdle group and my distance groups that I work with closely, this week there's no excuse. We have to be available every day for practice to our best of our ability. We have to live in the training room if we need it. We have to take care of the little things this week, because this is the most important 2-week stretch of our season, probably in the whole entire season, indoor and outdoor, because this is going to be the longest stretch in between meets that we're going to have for quite some time. And pretty much once we start outdoor season, it's every weekend. So this is a very important stretch for our team to get right for Marshall. And I know it's going to be a competitive meet. And looking at the performance list right now, we have some great athletes on our team that are on the outside looking in. And the Marshall meet last year, I believe from my notes, got 6 more people qualified than we had going into that meet. So, the distance runners were peaking our workouts, and kind of a mini peak to our workouts to kind of get us tuned up for that meet, and then, on to the conference meet. So, and it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be the greatest indoor conference that we've, competition that we've ever had. And it just shows the growth of our conference and, how the other coaches in our conference have been recruiting. So it's going to be awesome, and looking forward to the rest of the year.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on today, and we'll talk to you here next week.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me, I have head acrobatics and tumbling coach Taylor Broadwater. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach. Quickly, I'll talk about last year. You had 6 wins, which tied the most in single season history. 4 conference wins, which is the most in a single season in program history. Captured 3 MEC event championships, qualified 2 events for nationals. So it was a really good 2024 season. But now moving into 2025, you lost all MEC first teamer Madison Hahn, but you brought back 2 first teamers in Peyton Saminsky and Savannah Duckworth, and also a second teamer in Amelia Underwood. You also bring back some core pieces from last year's team. You didn't lose everybody, but you did lose a decent amount. So how do you feel that you've meshed the returners with some newcomers that you have this year?
We've definitely had some key freshmen step up, especially here in the last few weeks. It's definitely been a trying year when you have half a new team coming in. So just trying to mesh them has been difficult at times, but watching them progress from where we started in the fall to where we are now, I feel pretty good about where we're at.
And now moving into this coming week, you'll face off with West Liberty and Fairmont State in a tri-meet on Sunday. You're picked third in the preseason poll, ahead of West Liberty, who was number 4, and Fairmont State, you fell behind Fairmont State, who was number 2. Just a little bit of a different atmosphere there at West Lib, where the lights are really bright on the floor, dark in the stands. So with that, and also being the first meet of the season, what are your expectations for Sunday?
The expectation is just to go out and see where we're at, right? Like this first meet of the season, I just want to get the nerves out and want to see where they're at. We obviously had a mock meet this past week, and just trying to get them in front of a crowd was very beneficial for us. I think that the expectation for this meet is to go out and see exactly where we are and where we need to improve.
And you also obviously want to win, and you mentioned you want to get the nerves out. What are some things you'd like to see out of your girls in total?
I really want to see the execution come together. That's something this year where having half a new team, we lack that confidence right now, I feel, as a coach, but I think that's something that obviously we can get to. First meet, I'm just expecting them to go out and be confident on everything we're doing. First meet might be a little shaky for us, but I think going out to this first meet and seeing where we're at and where we stand will set the tone for the rest of the season.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on today, and good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Get ready to hit the road with GoMart. Each month, we're featuring a special item to fuel your journey and score you bonus reward points in our Road to Rewards promotion. Each purchase earns you a token, so load up and keep cruising toward big rewards. Plus, the top 25 token earners each month will receive 5,000 additional bonus reward points. Check the GoMart app to see this month's featured item. And as always, earn additional savings on products store-wide with reward member exclusives. Go to GoMart.com for more details.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me, I have head men's basketball coach Bob Bolen. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Jagger.
All right, Coach, this past week you started out at Frostburg State. You beat them 76-72. You had a big game from Zyree Blackwood. You had a season-high 21. Amar Maxwell led the team with 22 points. Just your overall thoughts on the victory.
I thought we really handled their pressure well. Zyree made some big shots. Mar played his typical game, but I thought our guards did a really good job against their pressure, and we were able to get good shots, and we were able to close it out at the end. And with the balance in this league, most games are going to come down to the very end, and we were able to keep our composure and close it out. And
you mentioned that coming down to the end, it did against Fairmont State on Saturday. They beat just 87-70, but it was tied at half, and it really took until the last maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes that Fairmont pulled away. Devin reaches 1,000th career point also in the loss. Just your thoughts on the game.
Well, with 9 minutes to go in the game, it's a one-possession game, and I watched the game on tape, and we got the same shots the second half as we did in the first half. Except the first half, we made the open looks. In the second half, we missed them. And, we're just going to have to step up and make plays, for the entire 40 minutes. And I thought we did for 30 minutes. And Fairmont's a really good team. They're number 7 in the country for some reason. And I thought we battled them for maybe 32 of the 40. And then they got some mismatches in the low post, and they were able to take advantage of their size the last 8 minutes. And, when you're forcing like we were there, the wheels just fell off the last 8 minutes. And, give them credit. That's what they do to people. But, for 32 minutes, we played right with the number 7 team in the country. And there's no reason why we can't do it for 40 minutes.
And now moving into this week, you got Point Park and Salem. You beat both teams earlier in the season. It's a big game on Wednesday with Point Park. I mean, you're a game ahead of them right now in the standings. It's been a while since you played them. It was about 17 games ago. You beat them by 17 up there. What's it going to take to complete the season sweep of the Pioneers?
Well, they have really good guard play, and then they have a big man that got 20 rebounds against us the first game.
7-footer, I believe.
Yeah, the one that got the 20 rebounds was the 6'9" kid, but he's really athletic. We have to stay in front of their guards, and then we have to go crash the boards. We have to rebound as a team. All five have to go get the ball, and we have to get stops on defense.
Well, and then you'll finish the week at Salem on Saturday, Coach. We appreciate you coming on today, and good luck this week.
Okay, Jagger, thank you.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me, I've had softball coach Sara Scoone. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, you started the season out this past weekend at the Valkyrie Classic in South Carolina. Day one, you lost to Limestone 6-5. You had a 5-1 lead there. They came back late, won it on a walk-off. And you played Lynn. It was a weird circumstances. You played through almost 4 innings. Weather, pauses the game, and then it gets canceled. It's pretty much a no contest. So just your thoughts on those opening 2 games, I guess you could say.
We came out hot against Limestone. The bats looked good to start out the year. We had some bumps in the circle. They did come back. They put the ball and play hard. They did what they needed to do. And I think first game of the year, we come out hot. And then around the 4th inning, we think we have it in the bag. And that's one of the things that you work through as a team where it's never enough and you can't act like that. And I'm glad we got that lesson the first game of the year. So hopefully they hold that near and dear to them. And then we go to play Lynn, and Lynn is so athletic. Oh my goodness. Props to that team. They're so athletic. Their small ball is spot on. And that was a challenge for us also. I threw our freshman, and she was able to get a lot of lefties against lefty work, which was good for her. Our defense picked out some flaws there, so we'll get back to working on that here in the next couple weeks and ironing that out. But, yeah, all in all, day one, I like how they came out. I thought their energy was good. They played through not so ideal conditions, so I'll have to let Coach Skiles know that one. But as far as day one, I'm proud of them for that.
And you go to day 2, they bounce back in a big way. 9-4 win over Catawba, and then a 15-2 win over Erskine in 5 innings. The bats really came alive, especially against Erskine with a 10-run 3rd inning. What was day 2 like for you to be able to get those wins after how day one went?
So day 2 was great in the sense of everyone was able to be a part of those wins. Everyone contributed at the plate, whether it was with discipline and getting walks or attacking a missed pitch. And not only did we hit the ball hard that day. So that I'm, very impressed with them. But, I look back on day 2 and, they did their job in the sense of doing what they needed to do that day. But then we have to scratch that, go back to day 3 or go forward to day 3 and then figure, day 2 is a great day, but we can't always count on our bats being that hot. That's what we aim for, but we can't always count on that. So there's a little hiccups that we had, not to jump the gun, not to jump the gun on you. There's a few hiccups that we had as far as small ball goes, and we just have to iron out some things.
And you mentioned that. The bats still stayed alive against Converse with a 7-1 win, but you had your hiccups against South Carolina Beaufort, lost 6-3 there. Just a commanding victory against Converse. You got a complete game from Megan Stump. You took a 2-0 lead against South Carolina Beaufort, but they would score all 6 of the runs in the next 3 innings. Just your thoughts overall on the final day.
So I think the final day came down to we needed to be better when we had small ball chances. We did not execute our small ball. We did not move runners as we should. I take a lot of pride in our small ball, and we did not execute that day. We did do well situationally hitting in the first game. However, the second game we lost with the situational hitting. We did not move runners how we should have. We had a few strikeouts too against Converse. I think we had like 10 strikeouts that game. So we had some big hits, but we also had, some hiccups to say the least. But again, we had 14 players hit that day. So, we're in the right direction. I'm not at all satisfied, but I am proud of how they came out day one. It gave us a really good, the first tournament, not day one. But I am proud of how they came out, but it just shows us everything that we need to work on moving forward.
And now, just looking back at the weekend as a whole, you go 3-2. Sadly, with the Lynn games, no contest. But when you look back at it overall, how do you feel the weekend went?
It's good that you go out and you had a chance to open up early. Now when we play some regional competition here in a couple weeks, we're going in with the idea of we know kind of where our strengths are, kind of where our weakness is, helps with the order of the lineup, helps see some little holes here and there. I think the weekend went great as far as the girls played well together. They're getting to know each other still. We have a lot of returners on the field, but they're in different positions this year. A different lineup, 1 through 9, different pitching. We have different approach. We don't have that big strikeout pitcher. Now I have great pitchers, don't get me wrong, but defense has got to work. You can't rely on that heavy ball, striking someone out all the time. But I am proud of the bats. I'm proud of how they were aggressive. And I did appreciate the energy as a whole throughout the weekend. But we do need to work on our endurance and our mindset moving forward.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on today, and we'll talk to you here in a few weeks.
Thank you.